When most people hear Gnostics, they imagine a single group of spiritual rebels, but Gnosticism was never one movement. It was a vast, complex web of sects, teachers, and mysteries. In this episode of the Enoch Files, we explore the different types of Gnostic schools, the sacred knowledge they guarded, and how they viewed the universe in wildly different ways. Gnosticism was not a unified church or institution. It was more of a philosophical and spiritual underground, a mystical current that flowed beneath early Christianity, Judaism, and Greek thought. What united them? The belief in gnosis, inner experiential knowledge of divine truth, the rejection of the material world as a flawed or false creation, the idea of a true God beyond the God of this world. But how they understood that path varied greatly. One of the earliest Gnostic groups was the Sethians, named after Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, whom they believed carried the divine spark. The Sethians taught that the material world was created by Yaldabaoth, the blind Demiurge. The pleroma, or fullness, is the realm of pure divine light. A hidden line of spiritual beings guided humanity, starting with Adam, Seth, and later, Jesus. They viewed themselves as descendants of a holy lineage, guardians of secret wisdom meant for the few who could awaken. The Sethian texts include the Apocryphon of John, the Gospel of the Egyptians, and the three Steles of Seth. Their teachings were complex, full of layers of eons, divine emanations, and cosmic drama. If the Sethians were mystics, the Valentinians were philosophers. Founded by Valentinus in the 2nd century, this was one of the most sophisticated and popular Gnostic schools. Valentinus himself nearly became Bishop of Rome before his heretical views caused his rejection. The Valentinian system included a perfect divine realm known as the Pleroma, made up of 30 eons, the fall of Sophia, which led to the birth of the Demiurge, and Jesus, seen as a cosmic eon, sent to help humanity recover their lost divine essence. The Valentinians differed in one radical way: they did not reject the church outright. Instead, they believed their knowledge was the deeper, hidden meaning behind Christian teachings. Valentinian writings include the Gospel of Truth and the Gospel of Philip. Another fascinating Gnostic group were the Basilideans, followers of Basilides of Alexandria. They believed in a vast cosmology stretching over 365 heavens, each ruled by an archon. Their teachings emphasize the unknowability of the ultimate God, a hierarchy of divine beings between humanity and the source, and that the material world was the result of cosmic accidents and ignorance. Basilides taught the Great Silence, that human language and concepts could never fully describe divine reality. The Ophites, from Ophis, Greek for serpent, held one of the most controversial views. They revered the serpent of Eden as a liberator, not a deceiver. Why? They believed the serpent gave Adam and Eve the knowledge, or gnosis, that the false creator, Yaldabaoth, tried to keep from them. To the Ophites, the serpent was a symbol of wisdom and awakening. Yaldabaoth was the villain, not the hero of Genesis. The church labeled them blasphemers, but the Ophites viewed themselves as defenders of true wisdom. The Cainites took this reversal to the extreme. They honored figures considered villains in biblical tradition. Cain, who they believed carried secret divine knowledge, Esau, Korah, and Judas Iscariot. The Cainites believed that these figures had been falsely condemned by the Demiurge and were actually rebels fighting divine injustice. It was a radical rebellion against religious orthodoxy. Despite their differences, nearly all Gnostic groups shared these beliefs. The Demiurge created the flawed material world. Human souls carry divine sparks from the true God. Salvation comes not by faith but by gnosis, inner knowledge. The material world is a prison of illusion, governed by the archons. Each sect offered a different map for navigating the maze. By the 4th century, Gnostic groups were declared heretical by the emerging Catholic Church. Many schools disappeared, their texts destroyed, until the Nag Hammadi library was rediscovered in 1945, bringing their voices back from the silence. Today, the legacy of the Gnostics lives on. In esoteric spirituality, in modern psychology, Carl Jung was deeply influenced by Gnostic thought, and in pop culture and philosophy that challenged the nature of reality. The Gnostics dared to question everything. What is God? What is real? Can truth be found outside institutions? The Sethians, Valentinians, Basilideans, Ophites, and Cainites walked different paths, but all sought to awaken from the illusion. Which path speaks to you? If you want to keep exploring hidden knowledge, forbidden wisdom, and ancient mysteries, subscribe to the Enoch Files. The journey has only just begun.